Can you hear me? You got
Yes.
lots of activity going. And let's see. I think we are live now. Yes, we are live. Okay. So I'm back with the wizard. And
Of some kind.
Hermesius, the wizard, who I talked to 2 weeks ago, but I was caught off guard by him because I was not really. I don't know. I said I wanted to talk to a wizard, but when one actually presented himself, I felt confused, and I thought, Jesus,
What do,
this is
what
real
do I
wizard.
do? What do I
So,
do?
what do I do with the real wizard exactly?
You drink a
So,
lot of milk.
he drank a lot of milk,
That's what you
and
do.
he's did you?
And
I don't
also,
know if you imbibed some chemicals or what you're up to. I asked you. I requested that you do, if it would help, but to see if it creates that proper wizardly aura that we
well,
seek.
it's a daily occurrence. So
Right. So I don't need to request any such thing with you. That's just to
request
be expected.
what I'm already doing. Sure, I'll do that. I'll get right on that.
These fucking headphones are terrible, and I wish I had the other ones. But
I don't actually have functional headphones right now.
I have to use headphones for this fucking thing.
I had some pieces, and they got damaged.
Are you wearing a hood and a fur coat? That's nice. You look more wizardly. Last time you were shirtless, and then you donned some quick one of those Mexican poncho things. Yes, you look very wizardly. Nice.
Actually, little note about the poncho. I haven't been able to find another one like that, like at all. It's apparently quite special. And
I used to have one. I had one like a long time ago in the 90s.
Oh, back in the 90s.
But I bought it in Mexico, I think, actually.
They were so excuse me. The cool thing about it, which I didn't realize until many years later, is something about the color scheme of it. There is a reference to the colors that correspond to Mercury. I'm completely forgetting which book it is. It's one of the big names. Fucking the Agrippa. Yeah, that's the guy. I think Agrippa mentioned it. I could be wrong, but one of them. He specifically explained how all of the colors being intertwined in that like tight, faraway pattern is in fact a mercurial pattern. So,
okay. For what? How does that work? For what reason?
For what reason? That was a very good question. You should read the book to find out. I can only surmise it has something to do with the nature of communication, which is what the planet Mercury is all about.
All right. The messenger god. He's the book is about communication.
Yes, indeed.
So, let me see. I wrote some questions for you because I wanted to really get to the bottom of this whole business with you in this wizard business. So I thought that would be the best way to do it.
Okay.
So, how specifically did you get into magic?
Well, there's like a lot of different things that, presented itself to me as this is a thing. You can't ignore it. This hat is really hot too. Fuck. I remember
you started off with all kinds of garments,
but I was outside where it was cold, and now it's fucking hot in here. When I was in college, I'm studying computer science, and like halfway through a networking class, I'm realizing what's happening. Computers are just daemon boxes. That's it. If it's on a computer, it can be accessed by the other computers. There is no such thing as truly secure. It's not real. If you want really secure, you want anonymity. You want off the network. Anonymity is the greatest weapon. And I learned that in college, and I figured out that there's unavoidable amounts of magic in life everywhere all the time, and I just accepted it or whatever. I was like, all right, let's go. Let's study this thing.
Well, so you just okay. You decided the computer was a demon box, and that then there's therefore magic everywhere. So let's study this magic thing. So you didn't have a Christian background or anything like that. Is that the case, or did you?
That's sort of. I don't know. My mom tried. There was a nice cathedral I went to a couple times. I remember them. I remember they tried to baptize me, and I ended up communicating with some sort of spirit and had a little seizure on the floor. That was fun. I'm like 8 or something, and I wake up and everyone's gone now. Okay, that was fun.
So you had okay. So you feel you had a wizardly magical experience at the age of 8. So it
Yeah,
sounds like you had no real. So right from the start, you were really born into this world. You had no sort of like religious upbringing per se. Just that you right off the bat you felt connected to the magical world and that you were. So what do you think happened to you when you were 8? When they tried to baptize you? You think you went into a
well, I should be specific. It was the same place that the baptism happened. It was like one of these like everyone comes up to the middle and prays kind of deals. It was one of these sing-song churches.
Hmm.
Another church my mom tried before the cathedral. Um, and yeah, it was like too much energy happening all at once. And I specifically remember it was the first time I attempted to actually pray. You know what I mean? Because I was just being a little cynical asshole. Like they're just talking to themselves. So I'm like,
Right.
hello, is anyone there? Internet connection, passed out. Okay. Literally passed out when I talked to God.
So you tried to pray and you passed out.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of
that
stimuli.
So you never had any skepticism, let's say, about the magical world or the world of this more esotericism, superstition, and even though you didn't have a religious, even though your mother was trying to make you religious, was she
Well,
like that? Was she all talking about magic and witches and stuff? Or
Well, she was more into the magic and stuff. I think she was trying to do what she thought was correct. She must have had a bad experience with a demon or something. I remember she had like warned me against psychedelics, and I'm like, bullshit, ma, let's go. And like, you know, you do mushrooms, all your friends are like, don't look in the mirror, bro. I'm like, I'm looking in the mirror, bro. And so I'm on mushrooms, I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm like, analyzing myself. I'm like, whoa, I'm a little shithead. I got to get my shit together. Oh my God. Go downstairs, apologize to that thing I did to my mom. I was like, that was bad. Okay, I'm an adult now.
what age were you at that point? What age was
That's
that
what,
you're talking?
I'm really bad with this chronology thing. That was later. This was like mid high school.
Later. Okay, so it sounds like you were born into wizardry from the start. That's about the best summary we can get out of how you specifically got into magic. Is
Oh yeah,
no choice for you.
Just sheer
Well,
autism, like trying to control the weather from a young age and that bullshit.
Okay. And you were not warned against it. Like you did lament a little bit last time that you thought you wish someone would have warned you that there's a whole series of dangers and things that you weren't aware of.
Yeah, there's like procedures that one ought to be aware of, you know, and I've developed some like, I don't know, what's the word? Semi-paranoid behaviors on the matter. I don't fucking know. It has to do with what I'm thinking about is reasonable. It's similar to dream logic. It's not like normal. It's not normal consciousness stuff. Like, all right, when you go into a building, do you make a big fuss about leaving out of the same door that you came in? Because I do. I will stop the party. I will say, turn around. I didn't come in this door. I'm not leaving out this door. Excuse me.
Okay, and why is that? Just a feeling, personal feeling?
Because of the golden thread that is your life. You don't want loops. If you go into a place and out a different door, you are tied to that place still. Like
is this something you made up, or is that a lore thing you've read in a book?
No, it's kind of a made up thing, but when I mention these things, it's not like some cool idea I thought of. I've like tried it out a few times, and like, please let me know if anyone disagrees. But here's my reasoning. You can try this out. It has to do with this little line that you're making in reality, I guess, constantly as you move forward. And yeah, you don't want like unnecessary karmic connections. You don't want all these open loops tying yourself to all this extra shit. You know, it's the extension of the Hare Krishna logic, right? It's you want to be liberated from material desires, and that means not being connected to things needlessly, you know? Like when someone asks me to do magic for them, you know, halfway through asking about what they want done, I realize they could do it themselves, and usually a non-magic means. Like, have you tried plugging it in?
So people pay you to be a wizard, is that right? You get
From
paid to be a
time to
wizard?
time. From time to time, yes. I'm technically a professional. I've made
Professional
money
wizard.
doing it. Technically, I've made some money doing it.
Yeah, what do they ask you to do? They don't ask you to like curse people and do that crazy stuff, do they? Like witches?
No, if someone asks me that, it's like, first of all, no. Second of all, do I even like this person? Third of all, what's your reasoning, and so on and so forth. But you got things like house cleanings. We had a guy who had a spirit bothering him in his house, and his mom was seeing it too, and fucking the cabinet doors opening, and like when they were in there, this was a legitimate poltergeist. And my one friend, fellow traveler, couldn't call him an apprentice per se, he had an idea, and it was the right like format. I just I felt he missed a little ingredient, and so I'm explaining it to this client, and yeah, the spell worked this time. As of this minor tweak that I made, I said, well, you should do XYZ instead because of where the magic comes from, blah, blah, blah. It's not in the candle. You put the magic in the candle. Candle's a fucking candle. If you're trying to banish something with a candle magic, you don't just light a candle and expect it to work. You have to like go through the process and like transmit the magic. Which, if I may tangent to an earlier thing that you had said, the connection with religion and such is actually unavoidable as well. I was getting into this argument with a coworker who actually recently passed, rest in peace, about the difference between magic and miracles. Because to the Christians, they're like, well, it's not real. You're just doing tricks. And I'm like, yes, you are. You just, what? You have to learn the rules, though, and apply them. Fucking, that, by basic definition of magic, ordering a sandwich on the internet is magic. Thanks, Crowley. You
Okay,
performed something and applied your will to the world and caused change to happen. And now it happened. Congratulations. Ordering a sandwich is magic.
Would you say there's a practical science to magic then? Like it's a practical scientific, so it's a practical scientific thing that can be more or less measured, just with various degrees of success, and you relate it to common everyday things. I think that guy, who was that guy that was on heroin, Burroughs, he's a big fan of magic, right?
I don't know.
The heroin addict guy that wrote Naked Lunch and all that. He's a famous author, and he was like a beatnik, and he was a big heroin guy, but he was always on about magic and card tricks and stuff, and predictions and stuff like that. But the way he described it was like just seeing the magic in the everyday world. But there's so many different ways to approach it. That's why I wanted to ask you about it. You can come and be like a person who was raised religiously. See, you didn't have a specific religious background. It sounds like your youth was chaotic and you felt like magic was around you from the beginning and you're passing out when you're praying and all this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Most people would either be skeptical of it or a bit scared of it, because religiously speaking, if they're raised sort of Christian, they would be like, "Oh, that's devilish or something." Or you're talking about guys like Crowley. What do you think of Crowley, anyways? Let me just say.
He was a degenerate who died terrified, but his collection and body of work is very impressive, and I have a copy of Liber 777, and you should too.
Right, I haven't read it. Yeah, I don't know, because his degeneracy does scare me, and his fucking sex magic and his crazy shit.
There's a cool story about him. He was trying to prove magic to some skeptic person with whom he's walking in the park, and he decides, this fucking guy over here, this lot ass, they follow him behind some guy, and Crowley starts to match the way that the man is walking, and he like imitates him for a minute or two, and then he drops to his knees, and then the guy drops to his knees immediately thereafterwards. He
Right.
he used a very basic principle. What do you do if you have to get into a moving car? You match speed with the car. This is why you bless your food, is so that it's you on the same plane as you, so that y'all have matched speed. This is also how Vimanas apparently work. One of these leaked CIA documents was talking about how the UFO technology operates. They manipulate the magnetic field to where the actual cosine wave interlaces the atoms of the machine. So once you've grabbed it and matched the speed or frequency to it, now you can change it. Now you can interact, because now you are one, you are semi-entangled, and that is all that Crowley did.
Well,
And
the moment you are witness something, right? Because you're never separated from whatever you're looking at or whatever you're doing. You're all one. The interaction itself causes it to the outcome of the thing to change, which is
yes, which is also,
Newtonian physics or whatever. Yeah, I mean that's. Sorry,
yeah.
can you hear me? Is my audio all right? Can you
No,
hear
it's
me
fine.
okay? Is it quiet?
The delay was fucking with me because I was waiting for you to speak, and then
I just want to make sure this. Can you hear me? Hear this mic if I've blown it?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay, it's good.
Sehr gut.
I got sidetracked from my point. Well, it was something I was asking there. What was it? The practical science of magic. Okay, so your background was not religious. See, this is the weird part. So for people who are either not skeptics, you can think whatever. Like, fair enough to be skeptical. It's obviously a difficult thing. In fact, someone in the chat says, I don't know if I want you to, because again, it's kind of a dangerous thing. Like I didn't want you to do anything that would be maybe we shouldn't do. But anyway, someone says, is there anything he can do live to prove he has magical powers? Is obviously a skeptical person. But what would you say to that? You don't do anything. But what would you say?
I can undermine your argument and point out that that half of what I'm doing. That half of what I'm doing isn't actually magic. I'm just aware of the powers that be, and I ask them nicely. I don't make the wind blow. I ask the wind to blow, and if I ask it correctly and politely, it'll just do what I ask it. Show respect to the elements is what I'm saying. Because, like I said the last session, yes, you can develop like some yoga powers, but those are like internal biological abilities. You earned that. The magic is simply the consciousness that gives life to all things. You know what I'm saying? Which is where that big schism argument with the difference between miracles and magics comes in, because I think it has to do with consciousness. Magic is given to us by the gods, blah, blah, blah.
So let me ask you this. If you think of it, if you didn't have the religious background, what do you see as the pantheon of gods you would worship? Because you even said last time you thought you'd seen Odin and Lucifer and something else all at the same time. I can't remember who was the third person was. But like, do you not have a...
Odin, Lucifer, and Pan. I would, because if you're talking about like who's worshipped in my house, well, that's Odin. Why? Because of my ethnic background. It wouldn't make sense for me to worship anyone besides Odin. You know what I mean?
So what's curious to me is like most pagans would not have then a belief in a Abrahamic deity like Lucifer. So how does that fit in? Do you just sort of see it everything as...
I was pretty sure he was Greek, but it's like this comes in a lot of flavors. It's Lucifer?
Like how does that work? Is that some kind of... I don't know. I thought it was...
I had read some reference on the matter, and my brain decided that was whatever this entity I was interacting with needed to wear this mask of, whatever, because I can't necessarily verify that it was Lucifer. I'm just quite certain that that's who it was.
In the Greek or Roman, I think it would be someone like Typhon or Typhon. Is that who you said? There's no Lucifer as far as I know. Lucifer is totally Abrahamic. So that's where it confuses me, because I don't. If you think, but if you're a pagan, you can believe the entire pantheon of every religion of deities is out there somewhere. Jesus as well.
Well, no, yeah.
Would you see it that way? Would you see it that way, or how would you see it?
There is this like modern application of this mode of thinking, to where like there's this big distinction between something that exists outside of and independently of us, and these collective egregores that exist because of and through us. You know, Jesus is as real as Uncle Sam or Batman. You can pray to Batman. Enough people believe in him. Because consciousness is all that actually matters here, and we are the atlases, the pillars that uphold reality, you know, living beings. So, yes, you can create little gods, but that's a scary issue, because now doesn't that mean that you're a god? Yes, we worship the Aesir, who are our ancestors. We're gods. Accept it. It's a big responsibility. We create things every day. You know what I mean?
Okay, so if you think there's something like that, though, that makes it sound a little bit less like a literal belief, like you've actually summoned so and so and so and so.
Oh
Is
well,
that the
if
way it
you're
is?
talking,
It's more like
if you're
abstract in that
talking,
sense.
it's
Sorry.
in the sense that like you are on the one hand interacting with your subconscious, and this is the whole like let's pretend it's all just mental approach. Okay, so you assume the mantle of someone who believes in Typhon. You go through the process of contacting Typhon. As far as you're concerned, that's just a part of your subconscious pretending to be Typhon. Now, you run into trouble when like it gives you information that you didn't know, you know what I mean,
Right. Right.
or someone else has the same kind of vision, and you all did not communicate with each other about any of the details. Well, now it's
Right.
not just a mental issue. Now you're quite certain that it's an exterior being, and now you run into this weird problem of where does the lore end and the fantasy begin? And it's the, I mean, that's the really tough
This is
question.
very That's very psychedelic. It sounds like something Terrence McKenna would actually say. Did you read much Terrence McKenna or what?
I'm familiar with Terrence McKenna. Yes, I've
But he
been to
would
high
say,
school.
You've been to what?
I've
You've been
been to
what?
high school. I've run the gauntlet of Alan Watts and Manly P. Hall and
Yeah.
run DMT.
You're on DMT, yeah. Because Terrence McKenna would be good. He would say like he would do his heroic doses or his DMT, and he would say he would meditate, and he would say, and he would. Well, what did he say? It's been a while since I listened to his speeches, but they were brilliant. And he would say, I don't know, I'd be talking, I would communing with something that I would find in my mind when I was high, and you know whether it was just the back of my own head or some other force, whatever it was, it would give me information, whatever was going on, and that it would be novel information he didn't seem to have before, whether it was, but it may be sort of random. It was interesting, though it may be, and creative, though it was sort of may not apply to the world. It'd be sort of somewhat indecipherable, or you know, it would have some application, but it was like it didn't seem to matter or care either way. It was kind of a bizarre revelation was occurring. Information was being imparted to him via this thing, and he used to say it as the mushroom itself, or the DMT was contained within it. This message that was waiting for people to. It was like the fungus itself wanted to communicate with you, and this is how it did it. It wanted to impart bizarre information.
That
So
sort of
that's
makes sense, though.
yeah,
Because
it
like,
sounds similar to what you're saying. Whether it's in the back of your own head or some other thing, it doesn't really matter. You're still kind of communing with something and getting something.
yeah, the state of mind that you get into, it doesn't matter which one it is. You're going to interact with it the same way. But once you acquire enough firsthand experience, and you're like, okay, well, this is clearly impossible unless X, then you're compelled by your reason to accept X, whatever that premise may be. And like, I've seen some very weird events unfold, man. Shit, I can't go into too much detail without like doxing people or whatever, but it's like, uh, what? All right, magic doesn't get rid of your problems; it will alter the quality of your problems. So your equation will always be balanced in the same way. You still have to go through whatever karmic process you have to change the balance back to zero. But
Right.
you can shuffle things around, and it's like, to my late Christian friend's point, yeah, it's a trick in the sense that no, you are not God. You can't just snap your fingers and everything is all different now, but you can learn the rules and apply them. You can look within. And furthermore, I'd like to point out that if we're talking about discoverable by any being type of information, it must be contained within the blood in some capacity. It's in you already. So just go look for it. Have you meditated? Have you sat still with your thoughts for an hour? It's like, it's been a while for me, to be honest with you, but I remember it took a long time for my brain to learn to shut the fuck up. Okay? It takes a lot of practice.
1 sec. What? I have no idea.
Coffee is good.
Yeah, sorry, I got interrupted there. Yeah, no, that's good. I'm trying to just still suss out. Okay, what is your belief? What is your afterlife belief? Maybe I asked this before. Reincarnation, wasn't it? Or am I wrong?
That's also a bit of a mixed bag. It's really like it's a personal issue, right? Am I ready to like fully let go of material possessions and just live at the feet of Hare Krishna in Vaikuntha? Can I do that? Am I ready for this finalness, or am I still engaged in samsara? Because if I am not ready to go rest, then I'm still connected. I'm still attached for some reason. The question is always, what is the person focused on? You have not just scriptural references and various meditations that people have tried, but also the remote viewers were given some interesting targets. They had a guy follow someone through the dying process, and then they did this with a couple different people, and they received different answers. So it has to do with what you are focused on at the time of death. You know, if you're done, it's like, that's it, I'm ready to just chill out now. Om Namah Narayana. If you are still interested in playing, there are a myriad of options available to you based on your karma. I mean, I'm quite interested in ascending. Are there any job openings up in the heavenly realms? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, that'll be good. I mean, this is what I mean too about your level of wizardry. Like, so do you have aspirations to reach such a high that level 50 wizard where you
um,
have where you can as you say, go past all of material reality and stop the cycle of reincarnation and ascend to a certain literal godhood, which would be true mastery. But I mean, to me, I talked to an actual Hindu about this once myself. What was his name? This was a long time ago. It was interesting though. But he said there's catches to that. Like, so even if you because you have to have no ego about you whatsoever to achieve the ultimate you can have no desires of any kind, and that includes the desire to transcend the cycle. You know this
yeah,
probably, yeah. You're pointing. So
the
it's
desire
simply,
to not have desires is itself a desire. It's a bit of a conundrum.
yeah, yeah. So you have to have like even nothing. I mean, there must be nothing going on.
Well, yeah, it's like trying to go to sleep without like sleeping pills. You need to just stop doing things. Just relax, chill. You will go to sleep. You know what I mean?
Your mind's a blank slate. So
Yeah.
you definitely have sort of a religious belief then that's fairly solid in that whole Vedic cycle world, right?
But yeah, it's Aryan. It's awesome. The more I read about it, the more I just like feel it in my fucking heart. I'm watching this 1980s Bollywood movie, and I'm like crying a little bit because it's this amazing story of Bhaktu Pralada, I think it was.
Right.
I think that just means like extreme excessive joy. That's what,
Okay.
and yeah,
It's a good story.
it was about the third incarnation of Vishnu, and he was the boarhead. I forget the fucking name. It's like 5 syllables long. And it
I
was
don't
a
know this
while
stuff.
ago.
I should know this stuff, but I do not. It is
Oh well,
interesting. Yeah.
I really appreciated how it like expanded my understanding of like the realms of consciousness. Because before, you know, you're still playing in the kitty box, and you're like, well, I guess there's spirits, and then there's God, and then there's us, and blah blah blah. No, everything is a spirit, and it's the same size. It's a single unit. An Atman is 1/10,000th the thickness of a human hair and such. And like, okay, all right. So you have to wear clothes that fit you. You can't just wear something that's too small. Similarly, you require a body that fits you. So now we're starting to see why race mixing is so evil. Because if there are no available bodies,
let's try to keep this YouTube friendly. Let's try to keep this YouTube friendly.
All right, fine. Yeah, so stop messing with my clothes. This is
He's talking about clothing.
This is my clothing. This is just a meat suit. It just happens to be very well fitted, and I'd like to have one in a couple 100 years. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's not. Let's watch the talk there.
It's so dangerous.
But, well, it's fucking YouTube, but it's still got to be YouTube.
Well, yeah. You're Ireland.
Well, I'm not. Just whatever. I mean, it's we get away with that. Why race is easy? But Jesus. I mean, okay. So someone says the gods will help us who attempting to help themselves. Yes. That's why meditation is a great thing for your health. So he worships Odin, but is a Hare Krishna. Is that right? Well, no. I mean, that's like. I mean, it's fairly popular in the. I mean, I've thought for a while in the pagan community to look to Hinduism for clues to the more ancient origins of the Indo-European. I mean, that's the longest, long-standing surviving version of the original religion from which all the European paganisms are derived, as far as I know.
Yes,
and as far right, is it not? Yeah,
it is. The Mahabharata mentions the Scythians by name.
Does it?
Yes, it does.
What does it call them? Is it called them Scythians?
Yeah, it's this. Unless that was just the translator being cheeky, it's the same word. It's like,
I didn't even know that part.
Yeah, they were. They joined the party when fucking 5-syllable names. The king at the time became the great king, hence the Maha. He was a Bharata. The land was known as Bharata, the Mahabharata, the Great India.
Right. That's cool. Yeah, no, I do like all that stuff myself. Yeah, so it shouldn't be confusing or difficult for anybody. Why? I mean, Hare Krishna. No. What's the difference between Hare Krishna and Hinduism? Like,
Hinduism is a made-up word. Hare Krishna is a prayer that means, "Oh Lord Krishna, please save me from this material suffering."
Okay, so what's the difference though? Like, what's the Hare Krishnas were very specific. The guys with makeup on their heads and.
Well, okay, all of that is like a devotional practice. You can like be a smoker and all this other stuff, because like the difference is that I don't think that there is a supreme being and then everything else. There's like a series of filterings that seem to take place. So I worship Odin because he is the theoretical ancestor, but I can assume that Odin would accept whatever logical premise that is presented to him if it is in fact accurate, because if Odin is the source of the things that I have, then surely he can understand things in the same sort of way that I understand them. We're also assuming that his consciousness persisted after death, which why the hell wouldn't it? It exists. You can't destroy or create things. Think science. Now,
right.
So to try to compare, right? How that big Balrog that Gandalf fought. Why did this human-looking character fight a giant demon? Because in the Silmarillion. That's the fucking one. Thank you. It explains their placement, and they're like equals or whatever. So it's kind of similar. Indra was born. All things that are born must die. Odin is never described as being bornless, is he? You know.
I don't know. I don't know the Nordic myths as well as I should. They seem pretty crazy. Whenever I read them, I like it, but it's very crazy and like weird. Same with the Irish ones. They're very odd. I mean, all the fucking myths are odd. I guess I shouldn't single them out, but
yeah, they're all
Odin being born. I don't know. It's very much more alluded to in that religion that you're dealing with a kind. Yeah, you do get more of the sense we're talking about like a historic chieftain or something like that in a way. Even though then he achieves godhood when he hangs himself and all that.
Well, yeah, that's when he went and got the runes for us. So it's like did he achieve godhood of his own gnosis, and then we just kind of figured it out later? I don't know about that. Did you ever like sing the praises of some person that you knew, and then it just turned into a meme? Like, I don't want to see Saint Floyd turned into some deity later on.
Oh,
That'd be really
geez.
annoying.
He is. It's too late. He is one. He's a dark
Right.
deity. He's a.
He's
It's
hanging
true.
out.
He's a chthonic. How do you say it? Chthonic. Dark
Yeah,
deity.
yeah.
I believe
He's,
he is.
He's in the lower agrorial realms, hanging out with Uncle Sam and Batman.
Yeah, like it or not. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's there. I mean, he's beyond them. He is genuinely worshipped by like a lot of people. Maybe is he though? Still, really doesn't matter. He achieved a great, powerful notoriety there. Whether like it or not.
Yeah, no, like
hopeless idiot.
there are portraits of him all over the place. That is a
God.
sigil. His power level is greater than y'all's, right? That's why art is important. You need those sigils to happen in reality.
Honestly, he would have been if something. This sounds like I'm like, bolstering Musk or something. It's not the case, but like if Twitter hadn't been like remotely freed, like it had been, or if like censorship increased along the path it was going, and still is kind of more or less overall probably going to go that way. But I do think that they would have made Floyd into a Jesus-like figure. That honestly, it really, I do think it would have. It was going that way.
Probably.
I was amazed. But yeah, really, it was becoming that way. I thought.
Well, why the hell wouldn't it, right? It's like it's a clean subject to rally around that isn't around any longer to say otherwise or embarrass itself and get knocked off the pedestal.
Silence it's pretty hilarious when you hear him talking and stuff. Like it is quite hilarious then to think like that nearly happened with somebody. It did like partially happen with someone who would be so stupid and like so hopeless. Just random act makes him into a demigod or something. I mean,
yeah, like he gets reincarnated in the heavenly realms, and he's like, "Shit, I'm a god."
What do you think he's reincarnated as now? Like, what level would he? What would he? Well, I guess for all the impact he had, he must go up instead of down. No, because he led a pretty bad life.
Well, that's a better question for like Sri Archaya. He might have a better answer for that. It seems to me that
who's that? Is that someone I can have on, or is he someone attainable?
Maybe I don't fucking know. I mean, I don't know.
Is he based or is he?
He's based, yes, and he's based out of Omaha, Nebraska. That guy.
He's based in Omaha.
Yeah, I know someone who met him, and he was a little disappointed, or whatever. But like, hey man, he gets on my demon box and he reads the book. It's all I want. I do not like Sadhguru. If you know anyone who like references that guy Sadhguru, call them a shithead, because he never mentions anything scriptural and is very heretical. He is not a Hindu. He is a dude wearing a turban.
Okay, I don't know. I don't
the
know those guys.
Acharya guy might have a better answer, but I think that you can't really like go backwards unless you just do something awful. So it's
what do you think of that guy? What do you think of that guy Osha or whatever his name was?
I don't know.
The one who had the cult in America. There's a show about it. It was pretty cool, and he was saying about how average people are retards and stuff. He seemed kind of something. He was like a girl. He started a major cult in America, and they were going around poisoning people in their local town and stuff, like white people that joined this kind of Hindu cult thing. He started Osha or something. Yeah, it's some crazy fucking guy, but he seemed kind of cool. I liked it.
That's very strange. Well, my wife likes those sort of cult documentaries, so I'll probably find it eventually.
Oh, you're married, are you? You look pretty young. I thought you'd be like not married yet, and with your crazy behavior. What does she think of your wizardry? Does she love it?
I certainly hope so. It's not changing. So
you certainly hope so. You're not sure, but you hope.
my look. This is a magic lesson. My assurances between my wife and I are entirely personal matter, and
well, that's true. That's true. Sorry. Pardon me.
No, that's fine. It's on subject. One of the practical applications of learning magic is to tweak your brain a bunch, and you start to like see other things in new ways, and you can like learn faster. And one of those things is like Like, why do sex scenes in movies piss you off a little bit? Because they should, because that's none of your fucking business. That is a beautiful private interaction. Even if it's gross, it's none of your fucking business, is it? Right? Aha. Because we're talking about the holy of holies, man. You got to respect people and yourself and the thing that you're doing. And that means, what did I say 2 weeks ago? Don't talk about something that you're still in the middle of doing.
Don't talk about something you're still in the middle of doing. Okay.
Don't waste time checking the time. It's over when it's over, not a moment before.
I see. Okay. And you're chugging the milk. Is that chocolate milk or milk?
Yes, it is. That is chocolate. Chocolata.
You
There's
are
a lot of
chugging the milk.
I drink one of those a day.
Mm.
I'm 180 pounds and I drink nothing but fat water half the time.
That's good. Good metabolism. And what's that? You followed it up with some other thing. Some
that's just tea.
Oh, nice. Iced tea or like sweet, regular tea?
That is sweet tea, sir.
You're not exactly high out of your mind, though, are you? I was hoping you'd be fucking blasted.
No, that happened many years ago. It's already blasted out.
It's permanently blasted out. So you believe all pantheons are possible or real at once, in the sense that they're only representations that are coming to you. You sort of explained it. I won't ask you to explain it again. But do you view different gods syncretically? Like, do you think this god is also this god, or do you think of them as individually?
That's an interesting question, man. I've been thinking about that for a couple years, and it's kind of a tough one because it's like you can see the argument, right? It's like, well, Indra is Thor. Well, fucking, why do they have different names then? You know what I mean? And so it makes sense that there would be some like platonic perfected archetype or whatever of whatever, and there's different peoples interpreted these things and basically made an egregore, and now they can talk about it. That's a pretty common argument. I'm not really buying it though, because it's like it's more likely that someone was having a really intense experience, possibly a storm or something, and then like felt the presence of the storm and attempted to communicate with it for whatever reason. And it responded, because it will do that for some reason. If you've ever tried this, try to get lightning to flash on command. You do that 10 times in a row, you'll piss your pants like I did. Okay. And it's like, then they go back and tell that story. They're like, dude, I talked to the storm. His name was Thor. He's awesome. He's the protector of mankind. That all makes sense too. I don't want to like speculate about what the actual process is. Like, go get Survive the Jive on. I'll probably have a much better answer for you.
Speculate the process. I've talked to him before. Yeah, I could get him on. I should have him again. Yeah, but I never know what to ask him. He's always like, it's always too. He knows too much or something. My questions are like silly and.
He's a busy fella. He got blocked or whatever from coming to America. He was gonna come to this thing that I was gonna go to. Very unfortunate. Yeah. I couldn't go for other reasons.
You what?
I couldn't go this year for other reasons, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I could have gone.
I know the event. I know the event. I was almost going to go to it as well. To be, would you believe? Actually,
I'll go next year, man.
Yeah, maybe if I can. Yeah, but I was going to meet him as well because he was stopping over here on his way over to that.
Oh, cool.
But it didn't work out. But I met him before. I met him in London. He's a good guy. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that he would have a better answer if you want to talk about like the exact.
I just want to know what you think. You're the wizard. I mean, I want to know what you think. He doesn't practice magic. He doesn't.
Shit.
Magic is a whole other thing. See, you meet a lot of like magic practicing people online on Twitter and that, like certain ones. I used to like the witch I interviewed, and she'd be sitting there cursing people all day, making hexes and curses and all this kind of thing. And a lot of them do that. A lot of them do carry on like that, and there's a lot of that kind of like.
Well, that makes sense, right? Once you accept the information, thank you, darling, that there is some sort of ethereal technology available to you that lets you fucking cause people harm without even being in the same room as them. It's like, that blows your fucking mind a little bit. And if you are not the sort of person who can like directly influence their world, wouldn't you use it? Wow, it makes too much sense. And that's part of what I'd call these caveats. Is like, if you start teaching magic to a bunch of little shitheads, you're going to have a problem. You know, I met someone, and she asks me to see my online library. I'm like, all right, check it out. I got a couple hundred PDFs on there. First thing she wants to read is the Vampire Codex. I'm like, that's just some shit tier book I found on Facebook. You want to read that? All right, fine.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean?
That's a good anecdotal story. Yeah.
It's got such an interesting kind of allure to it. It's like the shadows are trying to pull you in. Like, here, we have joints. Come smoke this joint in the shadows, bro. There is no joint in the shadows. They're fucking with you. Don't go in there.
Okay. Now, what do you think of Kabbalah?
I can disprove it. Go watch some Lord Oseron videos. He has the mathematical proof that explains it. Now, the actual architecture of the Tree of Life is quite interesting. I do appreciate the use of the Qliphoth. It's like it's an important understanding when you're trying to like put the metaphysics of a tree onto paper. It's like, yeah, you need to deal with the roots and it should be balanced. So that's all cool. But I'd like to point out that the numerical correspondences that are given to people are in fact a blind. You should not start with the number 1. You should start with the number 0. And if I had a screen to share, I would show you the actual equation. And it's like, if you start it with 0, all 3 levels and all 3 columns will all equal 9.
Okay.
Primo. Good magic right there. When you start with 1 and go to 10, it doesn't do that. It's the death tree. It's
so 9 is the holy number because of its 3 times 3 is what you're saying, right?
Well, yeah. Go ask some other people who are into fucking. Words are leaving my brain right now. Norse history. They love the number 9. It's really important.
Oh, they do. Yeah, the 9 is important. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you ask the guy who created Baha'i, which is like heretical Sufism or some shit, it's really quite interesting. They have mathematical proofs for the name of God, and the single-digit code is all developed by that guy Rodin, who tried to make the Rodin coil about 30 years ago, whatever it was. This shit blew my mind. I love single-digit code. This shit is amazing. But the takeaway here is you need to include 0.
Right. Here, someone made a comment. I don't understand it. Kind of like the elves when you go to the DMT realm. They try to distract you and get into your brain. They serve no benefit. Same with the belly dancer chick. Merely distractions.
Yeah, basically.
Who's the belly dancer chick? Who's that?
The belly dancer chick. I know a belly dancer chick. If he's making reference to a belly dancer chick when you go into the hookah lounge and she's just there, yes, she is performing a kind of service and it is a show. Do not touch. Look only.
Oh, is that what he means? I thought some anecdotal thing. I thought it was like some people are taking DMT and seeing a belly dancer universally or something.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Yeah. Dude, do you remember Arrowid.com? Motherfuckers would post the best stories about their DMT trips and their fucking. I injected 300 milligrams of psilocybin and I saw an elephant in a tuxedo holding a ball of light. I fucking love that website. That shit is amazing.
I must see that. That would be good. Yeah, the good stories. I'd like to see that. Yeah, shit. No, I was not aware of that. I never got to take DMT. A few of my friends did, but I never actually got to take it.
Well,
I still might. I mean, I don't know if I would now. I'm getting a bit old. I'd probably freak out or something.
I don't know. It's a little intense. Think of it as going on a ride. You know,
Mm.
like,
So
are
you saw the
you?
elves? You saw the elves when you took it? Yeah.
No, I
Did you?
actually did not see the elves. I did not take that much.
Oh shit.
I got into, like, okay, the best way that I can explain it is that I can do like acid levels of math and magic really fast, but I could like feel it being used up like it was fuel or something. Because those trips are supposed to last you like 15 minutes. Mine lasted 5, you know.
Mm.
Another
Okay.
reason why I know that one of these magic things that I did actually happened was because afterwards I was starving. Like I had a bunch of coffee and a whole meal and then did the magic and then I needed more coffee and another meal. I destroyed some calories that night.
Hmm.
And that's one of the ways to measure it is that if you are using up energy, you're actually performing alchemy, then you probably did something. I really like this one guy I met downtown. He described his stomach as his cauldron. I
Mm.
like that.
Yeah, that's
That is
interesting.
that's raw shamanistic alchemy right there.
So a fellow wizard. You met a fellow wizard in town.
I've met a
Is there?
few.
Have you? Is there wizards that
Yeah.
you look up to? Like, who's the highest level wizard that you know? Is it you, or is it one of the
Oh
these guys?
man. In real life, unfortunately, I have to be that asshole, and it is mostly me. I have met a couple of them. Okay, so my one friend who does it, he has personally explained to me that he's asked like 4 other people to help him with certain problems, and their spells either don't work or backfire. You want something that functions correctly, you come to me. It's like I don't know who else to look for in this state. I know someone else who was really good, and then he just lost his shit, and he's done now. He's like, I'm a Christian, I'm done.
What?
It was
What?
terrifying, apparently. 'Cause
What
we
terrified
can't.
him? Do you know what terrified him? That made him a Christian?
No, not really. I actually don't. That's the problem. I can surmise that he wasn't initiated properly. Someone just gave him some drugs. Excuse me. He just started doing magic. He didn't. Bind the action not wanted. He didn't banish. He didn't ground. He didn't do what he had to do. And it was too much. It was too fast, and he got burned. That's what I think happened.
I see. So you're the ultimate wizard in your area. So you're like the racist Gandalf, really,
Something like
wandering
that.
the streets.
I'm quite certain there's someone better than me who's smart enough to not make his presence known. He's just minding his own business. But in the meantime, I have a lot more to study. I got a lot more to do. There's always the fucking daily practices. No matter how good you are, you still need to like be doing your daily banishings. Because like people like Lana Del Rey will be cursing Trump supporters for no fucking reason. Hey, I know. I'm gonna use this gift from God to be a vindictive bitch. What a great idea!
So you have to practice your vanishings or your banishings.
Yeah.
Is that what we call it? Banishings?
Yes,
What do you do? You banish all the curses that other people are doing.
yes, you need to do that. And it's like if you want to be a philanthropist on the matter, you can banish from other people, or you can do some daily blessings for people. Or is there a court case that you're following? Bless the guy you're rooting for. You know what I mean?
Okay, right. So is there ever a point where you worry that it's like slightly schizophrenic or anything like that?
Every morning.
Every day, really?
Well, yes and no. Because I'll embrace the chaos to a degree, and it's like I don't
You
want
seem very
to.
calm. You seem very calm and grounded about it all. That's for sure. You don't seem like it's you, and you can
No,
reason it. You can reason it all out. There's nothing crazy. You at least can explain all your reasons. Like a true schizophrenic would be just like,
yeah, no, it makes
fucking stuff.
perfect sense. It's very reasonable. Okay, I'm telling it makes perfect fucking sense.
Well, I just don't think you're schizophrenic. Let's say that.
Okay, thank you. Well, probably not if I can take heroic doses of acid and still go to work the next week.
Yeah, probably not exactly. That is a good test for that. Yes, you're right. You are right. Let me see what's going on with the comments here. Holy shit. Okay. DMT entities have no servants. There is a lot more behind them. They are things to distract you when you arrive in that realm. Powerful ones are hidden behind the curtains. So many people only make it as far as the entry area. You have to ask to go further. I'd like to talk to this guy, but if he's gone further, because I don't know much about it. Like I
want to talk to him. That's a cool idea. I can't ask him where he got his stuff on, but no.
Here, will I ask him if he wants to come on the stream and explain this? We could do that.
That's cool. That'd be cool.
Hold on.
Because I've never been that far, man. But I did really appreciate that study that whatever fucking college, I forget what it was, did, where they like mapped the DMT process. There is a consistent pattern to it, and it's like you go up in these like tiers of mathematics until finally you cross a barrier where it's just amnesia. You cannot remember anymore. It's too raw. It's too real. It's more real than real. And then you have to like, wait for the drug to dissipate. Because it's like, why do the people think that you're talking to mushrooms? Because you are. Psilocybin, that your body then turns into psilocybin, is a neurotransmitter. It's just like serotonin. It's like one molecule off. Like they're just little brains. What about the mycelial network? Have you ever? I want you to take a bunch of mushrooms and I want you to go out in a nice, rich, grassy area with some bunch of mold down there underneath the roots and jam your fingers into the dirt and try to talk to the mycelial network that you live on. It might say hello.
Now that's good wizard lore there. That's good wizard advice. I like that. That's excellent.
That was
wizard. That's wizard talk.
Good. Meditate under a tree and align your chakras with its chakras, and you'll meditate twice as hard. That's cool. When I was a deer butcher, I tried to use a deer carcass rib cage as an antenna. That sort of worked, but it was just necromancy.
Okay, good.
Fucking high school, dude.
Right. Who do you think is the highest level wizard alive today in the world?
Fudge Knuckles. That's a hard question. Damn. Fucking what's that fucking guy? I don't like him, but I think he's winning real hard. The guy who runs, what is it, the UN? His fucking name. He comes out there in his black robe and he's bald and I should know his name.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, what?
The UN guy.
The guy who runs the UN, who comes out and he's a bald black guy in a robe.
No, he's not black. He's I don't know what the fuck he is. Eastern European quarter Jew or something.
Hold on. You're not talking about the WEF guy, the Klaus Schwab, the German guy.
WEF. That's a fucking, god damn it. I'm so bad with names.
You're saying he's the highest level wizard?
I think Klaus Schwab is whipping some ass. Okay? When we talk about why do the bad guys keep winning, because they follow the rules. The rules don't care if you're the good guy. They care about the rules. The bad guys follow the damn rules and they stick together. They don't take out their own people. They don't have needless public discussions that undermine their authority. Usually, it's getting a lot worse these days. And they stick together. They follow the damn rules. And this WEF guy, let's judge the tree by its fruits. He is in charge of a very influential thing, and he's wearing a robe. He can do what he wants.
Okay, so he's the top of Schwab. So he's an evil wizard, you would say, or what?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't join the fan club, but let's be real here.
He's got powers. He's got powers for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, no, there's no doubt. Yeah, so Klaus Schwab is the highest level wizard operating in the world, possibly.
Publicly, okay, anyway.
I didn't actually get your overall. I didn't quite come away from your opinion of Kabbalah with. So you think it's like, what is your opinion really overall? I appreciate the tree part. I got that.
Okay. Well, I really liked the cube of space element of it. So it's like, I like that Kabbalah has a way of compartmentalizing multiple pieces of information into, an interlaced system. So you're studying tarot, and you go, well, here's the trestle board, here's the patterns, fucking the lover's card is key 6, and you look at the devil card and it's a mirror image and it's key 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. Whoa, it's connected. But each of the cards correspond to something to do with astrology. The Emperor card is Aries. So now by studying Kabbalah, you've also studied astrology. And it also incorporates alchemy and such. It's a coherent architecture that lets you put different things, that's the word for this is, different kinds of studies into a single tree.
Right.
Which is sort of what I was going for when I made my.
So essentially, you respect it. You have to admit you respect it, and
I respect a functional thing. You should respect your enemy. You don't have to like your enemy when their sword is against your neck. Yeah. Your opinion doesn't matter, does it? You need to respect the realities of things around us, and it's like it would be foolish of us to not take advantage of the situation that is presented to us. We have the internet and we have potable water. Everything is clean. Childhood rickets is down because there's nutrients jammed into all the food. Let's chill out for a second and make the most of things,
Yeah. Okay, good. Here. Now, this always happens to me because, I don't know, because I drink on these things. I'm getting old. I got the bladder of like an old man. And I gotta go. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. So let me leave you with a question you can answer while I'm gone.
Okay, you need to wait.
Yeah, I'll be like one. Yeah, I'm gonna be 1 sec. But like, what was the question? I had it here. Okay, I actually want to know the answers though, so you can summarize it for me when I get back. If you could use your wizard powers to impose, I think I know the answer, but maybe go into specifics and just talk for like 2 minutes. If you could use your wizard powers to impose a religion upon the world, what would it be? And like, what are the specifics of that?
That's a tough question, man. Because obviously you think, well, I want to impose the truth. Well, the truth is that imposing things is immoral, so you wouldn't do it. Right? So I'll tell you what, if I had to do it, if I had to do an immoral thing, I would attempt to do the immoral thing that leads back to a moral thing. So let's just be an accelerationist and impose some sort of silly antenatal nonsense religion that makes everyone run in the opposite direction. How about that? like Gnosticism. Let's just make the world Gnostic. Yeah, the world is evil. You see that tree? It's evil, bro. You're trapped here. No, that doesn't make any sense. How about this? I'll impose the religion of waiting. We'll just stop doing things for the next 432,000 years while we wait for the Dwapara Yuga to happen. Let's just get over the Kali Yuga. How about that? That's not a religion. I like how I'm giving a bunch of non-answers. I mean, all right. What's like a fun religion that someone made up? Who remembers the flying spaghetti monster? This was a fucking meme when I was in high school. But they like made up all the lore. They said that the flying spaghetti monster dug up and planted all of the dinosaur fossils, and dinosaurs aren't real. It's like that was their religion.
Who? What?
I'm giving as many non-answers as I can think of because I don't just want to say the obvious answer. Sanatana Dharma.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Good. Excellent. That's what I thought. So that guy said he wanted to join to talk about his DMT thing, but he never sent me a way to contact him. He's got to send me in the chat, unless he's contacted me on some other thing. Hold
on. Do you want to do that? Because I also have a child's bladder. You want to tag out? I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. Yeah. So, buddy, if you want to join, you got to send me put something in the chat, some way I can send you the StreamYard link. I don't want to put it in the chat because then All these cunts will try to join at once. Maybe I could screen them out. How would I know who's who, though? How would I know the right one? What's this? What is this and what is that? Yes. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So. The wizard. The wizard. Wicca. Someone says Wicca. Who gives a shit about Wicca?
No, no
Wiccan's-
one. No one.
Wicca is garbage. It always
What
was. I
are
remember Wiccans. I mean, that was my first like meeting up with people that claim to be pagans. Like way back in the 90s, I remember meeting Wiccans. They were just like cheesy people, just looking to sort of
I
have
feel
something
like,
to be edgy with or something. I don't know. I thought it was silly.
I mean, I can understand the impetus because it's like that story that you were probably expecting to hear earlier. Oh, I was raised Catholic and I rebelled. They're probably just being anti-Christian. You know what I mean? They're not actually worshiping nature. They're just getting mad at daddy or something.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I'm sure.
All
Someone
right,
else
I
says,
know that
what are
most
what are
of
his
the
thoughts? What are his
situation-
thoughts? What are his thoughts on the historical Merlin? Someone says, and yeah, someone else says Wicca is now a feminist religion. Feminism's a religion. Yeah, it is pretty much. It's the goddess. Let's worship the goddess.
I mean, because like I get it, right? There's lots of references to Mother Earth. It's a perfectly logical deity, especially if like you manage to go and meditate and like commune with Gaia. You had that experience. You know it happened. It happened in your brain. Why are you trying to pretend like it didn't happen? You know what I mean? Like if you speak to a spirit, it doesn't necessarily appear to you like in front of you. It'll have to wear a mask, kind of like how normal people do when you hallucinate them before you. I'm not in your head right now. I'm in my head. You're looking at a box with some light patterns and just being amused.
But
What's
I'm looking at the
happening
wizard.
right now?
I can see the wizard. Yeah, go on.
You can see a screen. I'm in America right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm in
And that's
Ireland. Would you
fucking
believe?
magic. That's magic
But
as
look-
shit.
But we're real. Look, it's real. I'm snapping my fingers right in your face. How about that? You can hear it. You know I'm doing it for real. You know.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
doing it for real.
there is a correspondence and there's a correlation. It's like, why is there such a like rejection of obvious miracles? When Odin got the runes for us, it was fucking magic. You can write things now. You can tell people things without being near them. That's fucking amazing. Like,
It is amazing. Yeah, it is.
do
amazing.
not underestimate consciousness.
But they would say it was developed through a process of science, which is fine. But you can sort of, it's just to say science is magic is one thing, but like so magic is something else. So when you say you practice magic, like say last time you were talking about how you leapt through the air a great number of feet and all this kind of thing. Like that would be more literal.
That was a very literal, like, I did something upstairs and then something happened downstairs and it shouldn't have happened and it was insane. Excuse me. And I have a witness.
Right. A witness. Who's the witness?
My friend from when I lived downtown. We would hang out a lot.
The other wizard.
Do acid together. Yeah, he was a fellow traveler.
Another wizard. A fellow wizard. Excellent.
Yeah, he's living across town. He's a craftsman also, doing other things.
Excellent. Okay, someone else says thoughts. Okay, first of all, the question of what do you think of Merlin? Someone asked, but I don't know.
Oh, that's a fun question. As far as I understand it, in the original language, it was pronounced Merthin, and it was a title. It just means forest-dwelling hermit. Now, that's not to say that the Merlin guy from the Arthurian legends isn't its own subject, because like Merlin is a subject. Okay, that is a whole podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So hope we too giant a can of worms there to discuss in an immediate fashion. Sorry.
It's really big. I actually have limited data. I already gave you most of what I know about that subject.
That was good wizard information there. You definitely knew, and you had like knowledge of the word and its origins and what was going on all together. Most I know about it's from reading Mort d'Arthur I read most of. I still have to finish it. I stopped a while ago. It's a good book though, but it's funny when you read it. It's so pagan. It's like a Christian early. It's a very Christian sort of document, but it's so pagan. Like Merlin actually vanishes in that. He's halfway through it. It's not. It doesn't end the way you think. He's trapped by Morgana. Is it in a stone or under a pool or something? And that's it. He's gone. He's done. She totally tricks him, and he's up. I mean, that you can see that happen in, say, the movie Excalibur and that, but like it's just sort of casually and happens halfway through, not even before the halfway mark in the story, and then he's just done, and he's never mentioned again, as far as I can recall. But there's brutality in that. Of like, there's things I recall. The most harsh example was Arthur at one point, King Arthur, when he learns that he's about to have a bastard son with his sister who is evil. He decrees that all the firstborn child, all the male children born in the kingdom are killed. And
and let me guess, it got everyone but the actual intended target.
Yes, but he's like that's a casual decree he makes while remaining the good guy, from start to finish through the book.
Oh shit!
Which is it's not like he's trying to show him his dark or something. It's just like, so we'll kill them all. I think he puts them all on a boat. He puts them all on the boat, all the babies in a lake or something, and shoves it off into the middle of the lake. So,
damn.
Yeah.
So, like, is that who Riddick is?
Riddick?
You know Riddick from Dark Fury and Pitch Black. The fucking can see in the dark. Vin Diesel.
Mentally retarded Vin Diesel. Have you ever seen Vin Diesel in real life? Like how stupid he is. He's so stupid.
He's a tart. No, I heard it in the movie where fucking the Lord Marshal decrees the same thing. All the firstborn males of Planet Furia are to be put down, but they missed Riddick though. It's like the same story.
This guy says Merlin was a historical figure. He was Welsh.
That makes sense.
Those are romanticized Middle Ages era stories, much later than the man himself. Well, just like all the others, he's probably a real guy, a real wizard, an early wizard. And someone else says thoughts on left-wing wizards versus right-wing wizards. Now, this would be an excellent battle for a use of magic. Would be see a battle between left-wing and right-wing wizards. I'd like to see that.
Well, depends who wins the coin toss, I guess. Because I'm right-handed, so no. Okay, that's because I've talked about this with people over the years. It's this whole fucking thing. It has to do with like the way that the human brain likes to break things down to their simplest forms. It's like, is it really just left and right? It seems like a logical thing to do. But if you'll notice, a bird has two wings, not one or the other. They have both. So I would just be an advocate of balance. It's not like there's a mysterious third option. It's that you create balance with those two options. You know what I mean? It's like to like engaging in violence, for example. It's evil when you start it. If you're defending your home, we write stories about it. It's the same thing. Why is one good and one bad? Because all that matters is who starts it. You know what I mean?
Someone with the name Magus Diorum Aeternorum says that it is an actual battle, a war occurring now.
I love that name. I love that name. It's an excellent name.
Well, so he's obviously saying there's left-wing and right-wing wizards are battling it out as we speak.
And he is correct. And he's correct. That's the thing. Okay. First of all, I've seen it. Second of all, we've seen it. Who remembers Lana Del Rey cursing the Trump supporters? Like they literally published that ritual. That was quite foolish of them because now it's available to be hacked and messed with and subverted. So they broke the rule, right? They told you what they were doing.
Right. So that's going on all the time, and you don't know about it. So this is why you perform your rituals at the beginning of the day. It's for the left-wing wizards out there causing negative magic in the world.
Yeah, you can either do some defense or bolster your team. And you are on a team, whether you like it or not, so it's best to just find your place in it and accept it. But
Right.
it's like eventually, assuming that it's all over one day, what's going to happen? And I've made a similar argument that I'm about to make when talking about another subject. It has to do with having a positive foundation for your motivations. While it's perfectly reasonable and acceptable to use whatever means available to you to defend against your enemies, it's important to understand that once you attain victory and your enemy is gone, you still need to do stuff. So if you are using negative foundations, you are simply increasing the power of your enemy because now they are the center of your world. Your enemy shouldn't be anything other than a minor nuisance interrupting you and your garden time. You should still be doing nice things and having a purpose for your life that isn't destroying the enemy because they're a distraction.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Hold on, this guy has possibly sent me his email. I'll send him a link. One sec here.
So I'm going to show you a little magic trick that I once learned.
Okay.
I'm going to take this bottle right here. I'm going to take this lighter right here, and we're going to go here. Grab it.
But I'm gonna email a StreamYard link to somebody, and hopefully it is the correct email. Lower. Okay, good. I'm gonna have it right now. Invite link. Copy. I'm missing this trick. Oh, I got the right one here. There we go. There we go. That's got to be him.
Goy feed.
What are you,
I got my goy feed.
what are you doing now?
I had my goy feed.
Oh, what are you drinking now? Coke? Jesus, you're just drinking all the crazy shit. You're just
I'll
one
have
after the
like-
other. Boom, boom, boom.
I'll have like
Chocolate
three
milk,
drinks.
tea, Coke.
I'll have like 3 drinks out at once. I like my drink.
So you do this all day long? Just drink, drink, drink?
Just drinking and smoking whenever I'm not working. If it's not working
Right.
or doing something I have to do or spending time with my favorite person, it is smoking and drinking.
And not drinking as in booze, just drinking, literally drinking.
No, I actually don't booze very much. No.
All right, okay.
I think I made some mead. I still haven't drank it.
Oh, you made it from honey, huh? You fermented
Oh,
some
yeah.
honey.
Yeah.
I like a bit of mead, actually. I do. I'm partial to a bit of mead, I must say.
What? If I do go for like I'm drinking tonight, it's a whole bottle of mead. Okay, that shit is delicious.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, it is excellent. So let me think. I have some other questions here. What have we got here? Okay. So do you have any hopes of actually achieving samsara? Then? Would you honestly feel you are in the running?
No, well, that's an interesting question. I feel like rendering an answer to that would leave too many expectations one way or the other. I think you have to try, and whether or not you get there doesn't matter. Do not be attached to the outcome of your actions. Simply focus on the duty that you have to perform. And we have a duty to do good things.
It seems like almost the most likely person to achieve it is the kind of person who sort of stumbles accidentally into things sort of excellently, clumsily, with a clumsy excellence, perhaps. That someone who strives.
I'd very much like to think so. It would certainly be like an honor, you know. It'd be kind of weird though. Like what a like classical Persian kind of hero attitude that is. I don't want to save the day, Dad. I'm Zeus. You have to save the day. Shut up, Dad. It's kind of comical. It's like you're just chilling one day, you know, you're just like, huh, that fractal and that leap is really cool. Here is the secret to the universe. You have been chosen.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why? I'm busy. What do you mean?
Hold on. That was an antivirus link. Avast. What? I sent him the wrong link.
You sent him an antivirus link? Classy guy.
I didn't. That wasn't me. I'll try it again. Hold on. I sent you. Hold on. Let me see what I sent. No, I sent him a StreamYard link. No, okay. Hold on. Wait a minute.
I failed to send the link. You're right. Pardon me. Now it's definitely going. And yeah. So you definitely think powerful people are keeping witches and do you think they keep alchemists and astrologers as well?
Well, why wouldn't they?
Like,
Wouldn't
so you
you?
think Donald Trump has like a room full of alchemists and astrologers somewhere, like working and like that he doesn't tell anybody about? You think so?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good question. Maybe not a big one. Excuse me. He might have like a wee team. I doubt he's got some serious operation going on. God damn, that's such an odd thing to try to speculate about because I don't have a way of determining how many practitioners there are in any given area, much less the whole kind of whole country. I mean, shit, I could attempt to perform some kind of divination to tell me, but I don't like shit. What if it's inaccurate? You know, you don't actually have a way of verifying it unless you like. I would have to get multiple other practitioners in it, and we would have to repeat the ritual independently like 3 times
Okay.
and hope that we have the same answer. Hello.
This guy
Not
looks
bad.
wizardly as well. He looks pretty wizardly as well.
Skull.
How's it going?
Video's always backwards on this. I'm like, good.
Yeah,
How are
right.
you
I
guys?
see my
Where are you
mustache.
guys? Where are you guys located? Where are you guys located?
He's in America. I'm in Ireland. You're probably America too, yeah.
America, Colorado area,
Nice.
and Wisconsin.
Nice. So do you consider yourself a wizard as well, or just a hippie?
Shoot, I forgot this.
I believe highly in manifestation. Like I'm in Colorado right now, and this is the craziest area that I've been to, like 28, 30 states, something like that. And this and like Northern California was really interesting too. But there's definitely some sort of sacred energy here that you are able to tap into, and you can speak things into existence or like think things into existence. Like I believe in a very throughout my day connection with God and God to be not denominational. I believe that's to get onto this later with DMT and other religions, but I believe that I'm connected to something that helps guide the like positive movements, and like people can get tied to entities or gods that guide negative movements. So like people that are like, man, life shit, always shitting on me, like fuck God, I don't believe in God. You're tied to those negative entities. I believe in God, I believe in his rewards, and I believe through things that happen in your life and manifesting, that's how God talks to you and rewards you for having that faith and that belief and that following towards that positive energy. And through that positive energy is where we get magic and where we are able to like manifest our chi or our energy to radiate out into a physical form, into a doing or a willing of something.
Okay,
yeah.
well that's cool. Yeah, that sounds wizardly. All right. So, but tell us about your specifics of your DMT experience. Since it sounded like you had a fairly in-depth experience, I want to hear that.
So, like all religions, we're all chasing the same goal, this connection with God, right? And
yeah,
just different paths. And I think hallucinogens help open up that path. And DMT definitely fucking opens that door. Like you go somewhere else and you know it's real. Like you know it's another place, another realm. You know you've like left your body and you've entered this other area where all these other entities and weird things, and there's positive, there's negative there. There's things there to trick you, like I said, the elves or like the belly dancers to distract you, and like, you know, geometric patterns to just kind of like get you locked in a freeze of a loop. But there's so much more to that world that you can go and explore if you ask, and you ask it to open up. Like I was shown some very like they're doing the belly dance, and I'm like, stop, this is a distraction. I know it is. I'm like, and then all of a sudden they just pulled a curtain back. The whole scenery just pulled back like a curtain. and all of a sudden there's this like slug looking weird fucking lump of nastiness, like what is it? Chewbacca from Star Wars or whatever, or not Chewbacca, the big fucking lumpy guy.
Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt. And like, and it was like you don't talk, you like everything's ESP. But I do sometimes talk vocally, but it's like it doesn't like it when you like say things out loud. It wants you to like talk through ESP. So like,
Okay.
this thing explained to me or showed me, so to say, that all these evil powers, these elites, like they're all part of this slimy, gross, controlling, nasty muck of a fucking, yeah, like they're all perverts, they're all fucking, you know, like narcissists, and they're all like controlling, they want to control the people. Like that's what elites have done throughout history. That's like the King James Bible, like I mentioned, in the changing of the name Yahweh to Jesus to take the power away from it, because there's power in words, and like you know, that's why when the runes came about, they were so powerful, is because we were able to take these vocal words and send those powers into other areas, and then people could read these out loud and gain power from them, or translate power or ideas or thoughts or whatever. But like, yeah, it showed me that like these elitists, they put on the suits, they put on the face, but they're these evil, nasty, slimy entities behind them. They're like worse than lizard people. Like they're
that was their message to you, was that the elites are,
yeah, and they're all on it. They're all together. It's no left, no right. That's all just a theater. That's all just like the beginning of the DMT world. It's a theater, so that you try to think, oh, this is really cool. I'm having a fun trip. Like, I don't need to go anywhere else. I'm satisfied with this cool stuff. But there's so much more depth to it, and so much more like power behind it, or control behind it, and different things. Like, one of the things they showed me is that we, like the dinosaurs, like you say, so how did we go from dinosaurs to like cattle and horses and zebras and fucking giraffes and cats and dogs and all this shit? How do we go? That's not evolution. If that was evolution, then we would be like constantly seeing evolution from an animal to another animal. All we see is crossbreeding. Like, without genetic modification, that's all we have is crossbreeding. So
Well,
like tomato plants.
that's supposedly the gradual change, though. Is like you're talking about like animal husbandry and that, when they like you develop a certain dog, you take two dogs that are, you know, have a certain type of hair, and then you'll get like gradually
There's a really good argument that a creation is made about this.
That's genetic modification. You're not having a dog turn into a zebra, or, you know, like, so like.
Well, over a long enough period of time, though, I think.
This is actually a Bible argument. I forget the guy's name, Leslie something, creationist astronomer. He points out that there's like a math problem here, and actually evolution doesn't really make any sense. Because we're to accept the premise that outside forces created selective pressures. Okay, that means that you're losing information over time. Also, why are there no transitory organs like unfinished eyeballs? You know, because that's not how it works. You can't have all these genes for an organ that you're not using, right? But you can have some leftover ones from that information that isn't needed anymore. Like, eventually you will have less genetic diversity just because time has elapsed. And don't they say that already, that the majority of species on the planet have already gone extinct? Well, it's the same problem. Yeah, you can't turn a cat into a dog, but you can get a really specific cat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so yeah, I don't know about this. So the argument for that's a strange one. I always thought the argument about the or Darwin's version of evolution is just sort of incomplete, but mostly sort of correct. But he's missing some vital information.
I think that he's correct in the sense that selective pressures happen, and that they don't just magically turn, like you don't tie your arms behind your back and then your kids don't have arms. That's not how genes work. However, I do think there has to be something outside of the system to create this process. Like,
If
Well,
our
you know,
if we keep using our arms, would our arms go away? Like,
but look at
we
people
only
today.
have
Like
arms
look how
because we
quickly
can.
and easily the elites, the slug like elites you're talking about, that how quickly and easily like the average sort of Western person today was kind of turned into a so quickly sort of an emasculated softy. Like that was very quick, and it's actually you can see it in their physiognomy and stuff. They have already changed physically. They've
Well, that
become
is
these.
even. Could that be due to our food and our
Well,
what we're
yeah, maybe. I
consuming?
don't know.
You know,
well,
like
that effect.
But that was a
is-
quick change. That was a quick change, like a rapid change, right? No.
I see that with like obesity in different countries. Like there's definitely a different form in different countries. Like there's just some people that are big, like they're but like in America they're like sluggy, bleh, just fucking I don't know. There's no form to that, and that's because of our diet to other
as above,
places.
so below. That's why if the
Very-
people in
very more
charge are
Western.
slugs, then the
Western.
people that they rule will also be slugs. You know.
Yeah. So damn hippie, like this is Hermesius's interview. So give us one more
Another-
DMT story.
Another,
Give us one more
okay,
DMT
so
story,
then
Animal.
to finish the one that I was getting onto just now, the second one. So evolution, like, is it possible? What I was shown was that the Bible is all metaphor. Like religions all talk in metaphor to hide sacred knowledge from us and to hide the truth of our existence, like the Nephilim and like all these other like people are acknowledging the Nephilim and they are outer world entities or outer world beings from that were not from Earth that came here and had an influence on our evolution by crossing, their DNA with the ape DNA supposedly. But what I was shown was the ark was a metaphor for a spaceship that crashed here, and that spaceship was the size of the biggest city you could think of right now, like a giant spaceship. And then that spaceship contained all the technology needed to take all the stored DNA that they had on that spaceship and recreate it onto this world. But first they had to fight a war against the existing life form on this earth, which was giant fucking dinosaurs and like all sorts of crazy dinosaurs. Like, but they had to kill off the dinosaurs in order to repopulate, and then they
Well, now
repopulate.
this is an interesting theory. I've not heard this. That is an
That's
interesting
what the Bible says. That's what the Bible says. In the original Hebrew, it's tohu vohu. In the beginning, there was nothing is not the correct translation. Tohu vohu means made a waste and desolation. In the beginning, the earth was made a waste and desolation. And then he told Adam and Eve to go forth and repopulate the earth, which is a different word than populate in the original Hebrew. There was something here before, go forth and populate it again.
The people don't realize the King James version was, so to say, like a dumbed down version and used to pick apart, to use for like power and stuff over the people, and to take away the knowledge and the truth behind it, because they like there's several times they've burned books or like extinguished history, and it's to rewrite history and to take away these powers and these knowledges from us. The King James version, like in the original, it says my people or my children whenever it talks about us, and in the King James version it always says he or man. The only time it talks about woman is when it says her rightful place, and like it takes out counsel, where we all shared counsel, and that's like with like ancient wizardry or stuff, there's counsel, like everybody like has the same social recognition when they want to talk about something or put in their viewpoint. And that's like with our politics right now, like, does the public really have a vote? Like, is it a bunch of just theater? Like, are they playing with us? They went from George Sr. to Clinton to George Jr. to Obama to Trump to Biden. They're going to go back to Trump. I can guarantee they're going to go back to Trump because they're doing it to rile us up. They're trying to live out what they believe Revelations is, or what being Revelations is told as. And right now, they're trying to get us to start a civil war so they can have this chaos and then come in and give us this peace by putting people in camps and giving us all the socialist or this fucking whatever, the universal basic income, all that shit.
Yeah, No, that's true. That's true. You got a lot of truth there, but
it's to
that's good.
protect their own back, because what the true story is that we're all supposed to awaken and acknowledge that all this is fucking bullshit being controlled by them, that we can have heaven on earth because we are so technologically and sociologically advanced that we can use our powers in a positive way by finding that positive light of guidance instead of being controlled by this negative energy that they feed us through symbolism, through our entertainment. It's all Zionist propaganda. It's all the Bilderbergs and the Bohemian Society and the Illuminati, the Freemasons. Like it's all these cabals of these elite groups. They're all the same thing, and they're all after the same objective, is to have complete and total control over the population and for them to just live rich like fatheads. Like, I don't know.
So that was the DMT revelation overall. Anyways, it was about the elites. That was your
elite,
revelation.
and also how we got here through a crash of a spaceship that came from another world. Like, I've been asked to go help. I've been asked to go help there's some sort of galactical war going on right now. It's not just here. There's like another war, and that has to do with the energies that are controlling this world. Like, the positive that is trying to save us is at war elsewhere than this earth with the evil that is controlling the elites and driving the direction of our state of our world right now. Like, we can have
that reason right there alone is the reason why you should do good things. You should hold the door open for the old lady. You should make art.
I have the open door policy. I hold the door open for anybody. It's a good thing to do, man. Especially if you look a little different. It changes people's perspective of things. When
you look like a wizard. When you look like a wizard, is that? I think you're a lower level wizard than Hermesius, because your beard is not quite as long. But anyways, that was good. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for sharing the DMT stories. And that was an interesting bit of insight. Let's. I've never taken DMT, so I don't know. I've always wanted to, so I admire the adventure.
And what was the point that I was gonna make? So like control. Like, it's all about commodity that they can control. Like, crude oil and the electric car debate right now. Like, they're giving us electric cars because that's part of mining. That's the mining industry. Whether they're mining oil or diamonds or cobalt or nickel, they're mining. That's the big machines. Those people are really what's behind the commodities that we're fighting about.
That is such a huge subject.
Anything made from crude oil can be made from algae oil. So algae that grows, you process it the same way you get concentrates out of marijuana. You fucking it's just separation of the oils from the plant matter. That then those oils are lipids or fats. Fats are lipids. That's what crude oil is just broken down toxic form of algae and plant matter and lipids. But you have a fresh product, then the fuels produce 86% less emissions. Plastics don't leave nanoparticles. They actually biodegrade. Like, fertilizers and detergents are non-toxic. Cosmetics, pharmaceuticals do not have as many side effects or allergens.
Shit. That sounds like they're just trying to get us to be upset, because then you create the bad guy sigils. You know what I mean? You throw curses all over the place, and that brings the overall energy down, which means the planet is now accessible by the lower energy entities. We move the door, so to speak. But That's a whole shit. I had a thing, but I'm forgetting now. What did you say 4 sentences ago? What was that?
That like the fuels produce 86% less emissions, or
No,
plastics.
that was 2 sentences ago. Further back. Shit.
Anything made out of crude oil can be made out of algae oil.
No. It was a cobalt, right? No. So anyone,
So the
anyone
mining, it's
who,
all about mining. So
anyone
like
who is a
whatever
Christian.
they're mining.
No, yeah, hold on. This is fucked up. The Bible sort of got this one right too. This is weird, right? This is some Bene Gesserit time travel shit. They say that the 666 symbol that we would have on our hand and our head, right, is the mark of the beast, right? Well, that's a fucking cell phone, and if you have a cell phone or any piece of technology or a car for that matter, you are directly participating in some evil shit, aren't you? You know what I'm saying?
The one-eyed monster. He's got his little eye right up there. Like, your phone has an eye that's constantly looking at you.
Who does?
The phone, like that front-facing.
Yeah, it does.
Monster.
It does. It's like, it's also a black mirror. It's also like the Saturnian cube. It's also a dog. Oh my god, that's adorable. I love dogs.
Where is she? Oh, there she is. That's Paris.
Portia.
I think she's got some wolf in her. She's a little bit of a trip.
Hell yeah, dude.
You have to take. Oh. But yeah, I think the awakening is when people start to realize that there is this evil fucking cabal that's just trying to control us and feed us all this crap when we could have. They tell us that it's way harder to have better products. How is it harder to have something that's easier to make? Like, it's more natural.
Because there's too many other interests involved in it. See, that's the magic trick, is to get you to believe that the world is good and fluffy and made of rainbows. That just makes you a better victim.
Yeah. But
All
I
right,
mean,
guys, that's good. But listen, we've gotten off the topic of wizardry specifically. So that was good, and thanks for coming on, damn hippie. That was good information. I'm very happy.
Believe in manifesting. Believe that like God will talk to you back if you believe in that positive energy, whatever you think it is. Like if you rely on that and think of that and thank it when it gives you what you need. Keep that energy into that realm and away from that negative realm.
Yeah, you can say thanks for the nervous system that can feel the rain, or you can be sad that it's raining.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's your mood of life in general will help dictate your manifestation. Definitely.
Okay.
But yeah, that'll keep your wizardry strong.
There we go.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for
coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Namaste.
Okay, see ya.
Yeah.
Namaste. So that was an interesting little interlude. I didn't expect all that. I thought it was going to be just a little adventurous story about taking the DMT, let alone a lesson in history and.
One does not simply tell a quick DMT story.
Oh, but no, obviously not. Shit. Didn't expect to get drawn into all that. It was a bit much for me at the moment. I thought, wow, we're getting off the topic of wizardry. It's just we're encompassing every imaginable.
Well, that's wizardry, right? Is you just have to be ready to go on this insane loop and just have faith that you're going to come home eventually. There's no place else to go. Like, okay, let's talk about a little mind trick I've been thinking about the past couple weeks. Don't assume that this is like actual truth, but pretend that it's true for a second and just like think about it. I want you to pretend that nothing, or rather that you are not moving, like ever at all. You're perfectly still. It is only everything else that moves around you. Do a little dream logic with that. Now,
okay.
The one, and then just see what happens. It's really neat because you can do this in your dreams after you've like tried a couple times. Like, okay, here we go. Here's a really practical reason to attempt and have a daily practice of some crazy nonsense, because you're going to get to do it for real in your dreams. Like, I don't just want to sit here and talk about my dreams because that seems not helpful for anybody, but I've done really fun and intense magic in my dream. I'm talking flying, going through walls, manifest objects, yada yada. This is mind-blowing stuff. I decided to visit the Nexus, is what I thought of it as, or whatever. It was like, I want to go to the center of all of reality. And I go there, and it just looks like a blood cell, and then it kind of zooms out and gets pixelated, and there's other ones around it. It's never ending.
Okay. Okay. And so what do you take away from that overall?
That dreaming is fun. I don't know. I try not to be hyper attached to things. You know,
Right. Okay, right.
trying to
Right.
grab truth is like trying to pick up water with your hands. It's just,
It's true. Yeah, it can be. It can be. But there are truths nevertheless, though. There are
Yeah.
truths as well.
and it will rain eventually.
Right. Right.
The truth is unavoidable.
Do you think wizards like you will eventually usher in some sort of supreme type of being, like a giant floating brain that'll rule the earth?
Well, there's the distinct possibility that someone of my sort would be around in a couple 100,000 years to help direct the childhood of Kalki, the 10th incarnation of Lord Vishnu. That would be something. I'd be honored if anything I had to do with helped to make that happen.
Right.
Kalki.
Right. And what do you think? What's the wizard's view to AI?
What did I say earlier? It's a demon box. Well,
Okay,
What
that
I
wasn't AI,
wanted.
but yeah, that was the computers in general, demon box. So you think
Well,
they're
it-
negative? You think it's
well-
bad, negative? What?
I think it's like any other tool. A hammer can be a weapon, or it can make a fucking cradle for your child. You know, it has to do with will and intention. And the AI, like, it isn't alive. That's, you know what I mean? That's what I mean by, like, it's a demon box. Don't think that I mean individuals are in there. No, demons are in there. Errant thought patterns without a directed will. You have demons all the time. You just have, like, words in the back of your head, you know?
Yeah.
Does anyone else get that? I get that all day.
Yeah,
Excuse
yeah,
me.
yeah.
And it's like, that's all just like, let me try to make some sense of the chaos. It doesn't really necessarily even mean anything. It's just a way to, like, manage energy. So, like, don't be attached to it. You're just processing calories. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Yeah.
in the sense of, is an AI a demon? No, it's made of demons. You know what I'm saying? The way that a neural network functions is it's like a logic tree. And you have logic trees in your head. You make decisions. They're perhaps not as thousand layered as a computer's is, but you still make choices and have logic. When you decide to turn left, you have discriminated against turning right. You know, when you make a decision, there's exponentially more decisions you have not made. And these
Right.
sorts of obviously logically true laws apply to computers. A CPU is just ones and zeros.
Yeah.
You know, digital information is just emergent properties of these ones and zeros. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
your consciousness works in a similar fashion. It's just, I don't think that the actual occupant here is a 1 or a 0. You know, I think we're like the same, like, species as God or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Interesting. Okay. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I have a couple more questions for you, then I'll let you go because we're going on 2 hours here. So, and
Okay.
I'm supposed to be doing something else as well. What is? Well, I don't know. I will see if I will. It's getting a bit late for me. The magic. What magic spell books would you recommend as legit?
I was going to say, but is that silly?
That's a question. If good luck getting a hold of the Book of Artifice by Billy Brujo. I don't think he's even on the internet anymore for some reason, but I totally have a copy. Very happy about that. Anything written by the old great serious motherfuckers like Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa. He has great shit. Abramelin, I think he was a little fucked up, but there's some cool stuff to learn in there. And also you can go like check blogs and shit. People will write new rituals all the time. You can go find some old timey voodoo type rituals that are totally available. Fucking, oh, I think someone cursed me. Let me check. Get an egg and a cup of water, and you rub the egg over yourself from top to bottom a couple times, and you crack the egg into the water, and it will look a certain way if you have a curse on you, right? Just basic voodoo. It's low magic. It's using the magic that's already in the objects.
And what are you supposed to do if you have been cursed? By the way,
you can do the uncrossing ritual. You can perform obeisances, like chant the name of your favorite deity 109 times, or excuse me, 108 times, something like that. You can go perform some charities, or you can take a cleansing sort of bath under a waterfall while performing chants, that sort of thing.
Okay, didn't know this. All right, so that's interesting. That's good. Do you believe in levitation?
Levitation? I mean, yeah, sure, I believe in it. Can I levitate? No.
Okay, fair enough.
That's like saying, do you believe in aliens? Yes, I believe in logical possibilities. Have I seen an alien? No.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's good. Good logical answer. Yes. Have you done battle with another wizard? And if not, how can we arrange it?
You won't be arranging it. First of all, good luck finding me. In that way, if someone's savvy enough to dox me, congratulations. I don't think
not to dox or do anything. It's a silly question. It's a silly question, as though you were in an arena and you would battle it out with magical powers.
Okay, fine. If I was at the rave and I saw someone I ain't feeling, we got into it, we would literally.
It's gotta be a wizard. He's using powers against you.
Well, yeah, but it's like we're literally having a fist fight, though. That's the problem. You're just also being telepathic. Like, I can't explain this to you. You have to take a bunch of acid at a rave with a bunch of other people who are also taking hella acid, and it's just like, I can fucking hear everyone. You're all on this frequency, aren't you? What the fuck? I'm like hearing conversations crystal clear from across the rave floor. It's like, you've been to one, it's like too many decibels to even talk. You got to get in someone's ear and scream. You're better off just being psychic and transmitting the thought with a look. They're like, oh, my boy wants some water. Like, he just knows. There's just claircognizance. You just sort of allow the information to happen and trust it. And, oh, it was right. Awesome. You just kind of do this. So there would be a literal fist fight. First of all, I'm not some pushover here. And like, there would be certain things happening. Like, I would be feeling not just like with my flesh or whatever, but with my other senses for an opening, for a weakness, for whatever. It's still a fight. It's just also using magic. You know what I'm saying? Kung Fu is the good foundation to build your magic off of, because it's very easily measurable, and it's also very real, and you can go test it. You know what I mean?
Right. No, that's interesting. That is good. So that's the answer to that question. So my final question for you is, and then I'll let you go. What are your ultimate goals as a wizard? I mean, I think I have some idea now, but that's just a question.
To finish making this thing, to do what Odin asked me to do with it, to give it to all of y'all, so that there'll be this new, like what's the problem with tarot and Kabbalah? It's all very Jewish. It's not really ours. And then you go and ask Eliphas Levi. He claims that tarot is how the Aryan mind works. It works in images and compounded meanings and metaphors. And I would agree with this, right? Eliphas Levi was not an Aryan, was he? Why is he copying to this fact? Probably because it's stolen Atlantean technology. But now we can't prove that, blah, blah, blah. I'm solving an old problem with a completely new answer. I have the thing. I'm trying to make it work. It's blowing my mind, and when I'm ready to actually publish it, I hope y'all enjoy it.
Okay, great. Yeah, I didn't know you were doing that. That sounds good. That sounds good. I will enjoy that. So
Yeah.
that's it. I've successfully asked you to do a series of questions, and of course, there was a whole other can of worms, and
There's always another can of worms.
there's always another stage. So we'll have you on again, and we'll talk about some other stage of this crazy escalating insanity.
I'll have to like send you some PDFs or PNGs or something, and you can do some screen sharing, and it would be
Sure.
the most boring, like college
Oh, great.
sounding lecture ever.
Okay.
So if you notice, if we tune the Sigillum Dei Ameth to the key of Z, that was a good comic book. Key of Z.
It'll make it seem scientific and like it's all very legit.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, no. If I use my science words, the goys will think it's legit.
Okay. YouTube friendly. Remember, we are on
Okay.
YouTube and having a nice time on YouTube. Enjoying
I'm on
ourselves. Yes.
I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So,
Talking
anyways,
about
that's it
goals.
for now. I'm gonna take off. Thanks for coming on again, Hermesius, and we'll have you on again some other time soon. And that's
Namaste.
it. That's the wizard. The return of the wizard. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'm going to press this